A group of elderly, excited women were sitting in the front pew of a lively Sunday service, listening to a fiery preacher deliver his sermon. When he condemned the sin of stealing, they all shouted, "Amen, brother." When he preached against the sin of lust, they hollered, "Preach it, Reverend." When he warned about the sin of lying, they stood up and cheered, "Right on, tell it like it is." But then, the preacher turned his attention to the sin of gossip. Suddenly, all four women went silent. After a moment, one leaned over and whispered, "He's done preaching. Now he's just meddling." A 65-year-old man walked into a busy doctor's office and approached the receptionist. She asked loudly, "Yes, sir, what brings you in today?" He replied without flinching, "There's something wrong with my pecker." The room went silent. The receptionist, clearly flustered, whispered harshly, "Sir, you can't say things like that in public. You've embarrassed everyone. Next time, just say something like you have an issue with your ear, then speak to the doctor privately." The man nodded and quietly left. A few minutes later, he came back in, walked up to the desk, and said with a smile, "There's something wrong with my ear." "Please." The receptionist smiled and said, "Good. And what's wrong with your ear, sir?" He answered, "I can't be out of it." The whole waiting room exploded with laughter. Never mess with someone who's been around the block. Seniors always get the last word. A blonde was looking to make some extra cash, so she grabbed her tool belt and went door to door in a fancy neighborhood, offering odd jobs. At the first house, a man answered the door. She smiled and said, "Hi, got anything around the house I can help with? Painting, cleaning, whatever you need." The man thought for a second and said, "Well, sure, you can paint my porch. What do you charge?" She replied, $50. "Deal," he said. "Paint and ladders are in the garage." His wife, watching from inside, whispered, "Does she even know that porch wraps around an entire house?" He chuckled. "She should. She's standing on it." About an hour later, the blonde knocked again. "All done," she said, "and I had enough paint left to give it 2 coats." The man was impressed and handed her the $50. As she walked away, she turned back and said, "Oh, and by the way, that's not a porch. That's a Ferrari." Once, Bob was so upset by his past deeds that he decided to visit a church and confess all of his sins. When he arrived at the church, he walked to the confession area and spoke to the pastor. "Father, I am sinful." "Yes, son. Just tell me what you have done. The Lord will forgive you." "Father, I have a steady relationship with my girlfriend. It's been for 2 years and nothing serious ever happened between us. Yesterday, I visited her house. Nobody was at home except for her sister. We were alone and I slept with her." "That's bad, my boy. Fortunately, you have realized your mistake." "Father, last week I went to her office to look for her and could not find anyone except for her friend. As we were alone, so I slept with her too. That's not very good of you." "Father, before that, last month, I went to her uncle's house to look for her. Nobody was around except for her auntie as we were alone. I slept with her also." "Father." Suddenly Bob realized that there was no response from the father. He walked over and discovered that the pastor was not there, so he began searching for him. "Father, where are you?" He searched all the corners, high and low, and finally, he found him hiding under the table behind the piano. "Father, why are you hiding here?" "Sorry, son. Suddenly I remembered there is nobody around here except me." Defense attorney, will you please state your name and age? "Old lady, I am Myrtle, and I am 94 years old." Defense attorney, will you tell us, in your own words, what happened the night of April 1st? Myrtle, there I was, sitting there in my swing on my front porch on a warm summer evening, when a young man comes creeping up on the porch and sat down beside me. Defense attorney, did you know him? Myrtle, no, but he sure was friendly. Defense attorney, what happened after he sat down? Myrtle, he started to rub my thigh. Defense attorney, did you try to stop him? No, I didn't stop him. Defense attorney, why not? Myrtle, it felt good. Nobody had done that since my Albert died some 30 years ago. Defense attorney, what happened next? Myrtle, he began to rub all over my body. Defense attorney, did you stop him then? Myrtle, no, I did not stop him. Defense attorney, why not? Myrtle, his rubbing made me feel all alive and excited. I haven't felt that surge of passion in years. Defense attorney, well, what happened next? Myrtle, well, by then, I was feeling so spicy that I just laid down and told him, take me, young man. Take me now. Defense attorney, did he take you? Old lady, hell no. He just yelled, April Fool. Give me your money and car keys. And that's when I sh*OT him, the little bastard RD. I've been diagnosed with a new condition, AD, age-activated attention deficit disorder. Let me explain. It started this morning when I decided to wash the car. I headed for the garage, fully motivated, when I saw a stack of mail on the hallway table. Well, I'll just sort that first. I tossed the junk mail, set the bills on the desk, and noticed the trash can was full. No problem. I'll just take that out. But wait, since I'll pass the mailbox, I might as well pay the bills. I sit down to write checks, but I'm out. Where's my checkbook refill? Oh, right in the desk drawer. I open it, and there's the Coke I lost an hour ago. Warm now. Better put it in the fridge. On my way to the kitchen, I spot my poor, wilting plants. Can't let them die. So I drop the Coke on the counter, grab the watering can, and hey, they're my glasses. I've been looking for those all morning. I should put them in the bedroom before I forget again. But on my way down the hall, remote control on the kitchen counter. Why is this here? No one's going to find it when it's time for Netflix. I bring it to the living room and toss it on the couch. Water the plants. Well, one or two of them. Step in a puddle I made. Great. Forget what I'm doing. Wander around trying to remember. Fast forward to 6 p.m. Car not washed. Bills not paid. Checkbook still empty. Coke still sitting on the counter. Flowers half alive. Trash still full. Keys missing. Brain exhausted. But I swear I've been busy all day. I've come to the conclusion that this is a real condition. ADD, age-activated attention deficit disorder. It's not fatal, but it's definitely contagious. If you've read this far, you probably have it too. I should get help. But first, I'll check my email. And maybe grab that Coke, if I can find it. 3 bulls were out in the pasture one morning, chewing grass and talking shop. The oldest bull said, I've been here 5 years. Got my 100 cows fair and square. I don't care who the rancher brings in. He's not getting a single one of mine. The middle bull nodded. I've been here 3 years and earned my 50. This ranch ain't big enough for freeloaders. He can bring all the muscle he wants. My cows are staying with me. The youngest bull, a scrappy 1-year resident, stomped his hoof and said, I only got 10 cows, and they mean the world to me. No way I'm giving up even one. I'll show that new guy what I'm made of. Then they saw it. An 18-wheeler rolled into the field, and the ground started to shake. Out stepped the biggest bull any of them had ever seen. For 1,700 pounds of muscle, scars, and attitude, each hoof hitting the ramp made the steel groan. The oldest bull gulped and said, You know, I've been meaning to cut back anyway. 80 cows is still a lot. Maybe the new guy can handle a few. The middle one mumbled, Honestly, I'm more of a quiet corner kind of bull. He can take 20, maybe 30. I won't complain. Then they looked at the young one. He was pawing the dirt, snorting, and kicking up dust like a rodeo bull on espresso. The older bulls panicked. What are you doing? He'll crush you. The young bull snorted and said, Relax. He can have all my cows. I'm just making sure he knows I'm not a steer. 2 elderly ladies had been best friends for decades. Over the years, they'd shared countless adventures, from road trips to recipe swaps. But these days, They mostly met a few times a week to play cards and laugh about old times. One afternoon, as they shuffled the deck, one of them paused and said, "Now don't take this the wrong way, we've been friends forever, but I just can't remember your name. I've been trying and trying, but it's gone. Can you please tell me what it is?" The other stared at her for a long, silent moment, then said, "Do you need to know right now?"